Hey Claudina, do you enjoy your job in London or would you rather be doing something else? Subscribe to my channel.
Content creation.
I want to do content. Guys, subscribe to my channel and get me money. I will quit that job with the quickness.
Safety.
Shoes on my feet, I was wearing the rock I'm rocking, 'cause I depend on me. If I want it, what you're wearing, the house I live in, the car I'm driving, I depend on me. I depend on me. It goes.
Hi friends and welcome back to my I'm being embarrassed now.
Karena di live
Hey,
nya.
welcome back to my
Kini karena di chaki mona chwe.
Okay.
Nervous.
Alright, welcome back to my YouTube channel. We have two new guests today. We have Mbali and Mbali. I can't talk. Have you told you say
Hello everyone. Igama umbali wabaphiri.
I know.
I'm so sorry. Hold on. Wait, guys. Wasn't this supposed to be there?
Oh,
Isn't this? Is this?
No, I was
is this
just
the
getting-
angle?
Yes,
Is this the angle?
You
where
can't
I'm gonna be?
yes, love, you're in proper.
Oh, okay.
Don't show the big head.
The thing is,
Okay, there you go.
I was born.
Trust
Okay.
me, you're proper in. I'm just trying to. Oh, I'm gonna cut that. Okay,
Cut
we're
it.
gonna
How
say-
come no, we're gonna cut
Introduce
it.
yourself. And then
I didn't. I barely.
You said we
Don't
Mbali
Mbali
waka-
wakaphiri.
wakaphiri.
How that's all
AKA
Jack.
54 and 1.
Ufuna kusho CV ya.
It is AKA 54 and 1.
Come
Hi,
on.
guys. Nah, guys, ke kgathetse. Welcome back to YouTube channel. Mbali and Mbali. Introduce yourself, please.
Sabona ninganza kwethu. Igama umbali wabaphiri.
My name is Mbali Mabandla
Sanibonani.
Molweni.
Okay, guys. So.
Start tripping.
On my Instagram, I put up a question where I was asking you guys what you guys would like to see from us. Whether that be you guys wanted to ask questions about life in London, being young professionals in London from South Africa, or you guys wanted to see us play a game. And majority picked life in London. So this is the life in London video. And then, so we are here to answer all of your questions. And then Lona, Buddy, Glow, how long did you and your husband date? I'm
You my business. Why my business?
I'm putting up a question of life in London. Yeah, what, did you guys,
Why you my business?
did you see? I put up a question. And then Omuntu Ati, Glow, how long have you and your husband been together?
Why my business?
Like, the question is about life in London. And it shows also that you're not watching my YouTube videos, because every question about Francis and I is on my first video. And if it's not there, if the question you had is not there, then I don't know. But let's get the questions open and let's get started. So the first question we have is, and we
Let them know that you haven't looked at these.
Yeah,
This is
so-
the first reaction.
I haven't looked at these questions at all. I just compiled them, and I'm even looking at them on the Instagram app to show you that I didn't even write them down. Like, we're just, so whatever reaction you see,
Winging it.
yeah, whatever reaction you see, kiona. The first question we have is, how is the racism? Sana.
Wow, starting off strong here.
You know what? You know what? Can I start with that? I don't think I've experienced much racism. My experience, but to be fair, I've only been here for 8 months. Mbali chose out when I've been here for how long?
1 year, 10 months.
When I chose up?
Same.
What, 1 year?
1 year, 10 months. Yeah.
So I haven't been here for very long, and on my side, I haven't really experienced racism. I've just experienced a lot of white people who haven't been exposed to a lot of black people, also taking into account the fact that well, in Europe, so everywhere you go, it's majority white. So a lot of people don't socialize or have black friends because there's not a lot of black people to begin with. Like, you go to restaurants in Central and there are very few black people because we are the minority here. So I haven't really experienced racism. I've just experienced a lot of white people who are ignorant. I don't know, that's just my experience. Maybe
I think on my end, it's been very covert racism, so not like in your face. So there's like undertones, right? Because I think naturally the British culture is that people are they're not as
they're very polite,
explicit. Exactly,
very polite.
So you sometimes have to search for it because I'm picking up something, but is it really or is it not? And I've even had to have very serious conversations at work about it because I was deemed to be like very direct, and I'm like, you're just too indirect.
They're just very polite.
You always have to read
they can
between
insult
the
you
lines.
and you won't even know that you're being insulted. People here are very polite.
Exactly. So you always have to read in between the lines, and that's where sometimes you pick it up. But it's not like anyone is shooting someone on the street just because they're black. No, it's not America.
I think I also share the same sentiments with Mbali because I have never experienced direct racism from Britons. However, I have experienced direct racism from people who aren't originally from here, like Europeans. People that are not from here. But Britons, no, not really. But of course, it could have been polite. It could have been very like hidden.
I think
it's not direct.
The thing about racism here is that you're never really sure if the person is being racist. Like, it happens, and then later
you realize
you start being like,
exactly.
1 + 1 = 3. Like, it's
very hush hush. Very hush hush.
Like, it happens in such a way that certain things, and my experiences, I'm just like, mostly happen at work. Where something will happen at work and I can't understand whether is this person being like this just because it's me as a person or it's me as a black person. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I experience here. But moving on to this next question, is the weather bearable?
The worst. And I was telling Mbali, my issue is the two extremes. Right? The summer days are obviously beautiful, but they're too long, too hot, too this, too that, too this, right? The winter, too grey, too short, do you understand? So like, obviously, SA is like the sweet spot, and we've just came to the extreme opposite.
Everything is just extreme.
But do you know what? I would say it is bearable only because actually they have made the infrastructure cater towards winter, which is the longest season. So it's bearable in that
that season.
In that instance. So the winter, it's very cold, but you won't feel it because everything is built for the winter here. So the trains you will get on, they are insulated, they're very warm. The homes, the apartments, it's insulated, they're very warm. The shops, everywhere you go to, it's extremely warm, so you don't really feel the cold. You only really feel the cold when you are walking from maybe your house to the train station. But any building you walk into, it's very warm, so you don't really feel the cold, except number one, your electricity bill, gas bill skyrockets because you're using a lot of heating. But because everything is built for winter, summer is unbearable. Right now, it's probably warmer in the house than it is outside. So even traveling on the public transport is just sana. It's hot in there.
To be fair, the Thames Lake girl is quite freezing because the aircon there is like on blast. To be fair.
Yeah, now that's a fancy one, Chosa. When are you travel on the fancy trains? Thames Lake. I know. So we travel on the old trains.
Also, I think I wanted to add something that if you are a person who generally loves winter, then this would be the place for you. You know, if you love winter.
100%.
Would it really? Because I feel
I
like
love
the
winter.
The winter here is not like very. It's not snowing, and you know it's beautiful.
Depends where you
It
are.
does snow, Jane.
Go guys.
It
does.
snow.
No,
How often? How often? Oh,
Friend, I have
How
lots of
often?
videos I've taken of the snow right outside of my window.
It's
how
snow.
often?
But friend, it snows.
Guys,
That's the
it
matter.
does not
It
snow
doesn't
often in
snow
this
in
country.
South
But
Africa.
you're on the 8th floor. Oh, maybe that's why.
It does not snow often in this country.
It's
It
snow.
does not snow.
All I'm saying
it's
is
grey.
that,
Okay, the winter is
bearable.
grey. It's wet.
All I'm
Okay?
saying it's bearable as much as it gets extremely cold. I'm not unhappy. Like I can handle it.
But
That's
you know
nice.
what? The winter for me is unbearable in the sense that, so when I first arrived here, I arrived just like in the middle, like at the start of winter, and the people were going on like, oh, if you get the SADS, seasonal depression, whatever, and I
Sick
thought,
vitamin D.
yeah, in like I was just like, you're so fucking white, like seasonal depression, like I'm there's food in the fridge. What do you mean depression? What depression? I was like, what do you mean you're depressed? There's food in the fridge. And then I was just like, okay, winter here can really get to you because the sun starts rising like late in the day. Maybe like you. So when you leave the house to go to work, it's still dark. And by the time you leave the office to come back, it's still dark. So it really, really starts getting to you. Also, going out to see friends start taking more energy because you're thinking, hey, it's cold. And so seasonal depression like is a real thing here. That's why a lot of people, almost everybody here takes vitamin D because we don't get a lot of sunshine. We take vitamin D. But
I'm on it all.
I don't know.
I
I've
mean-
never taken vitamin D.
On it.
Really?
I'm okay
On
with
it.
winter here, to be honest. I really am.
Really?
I can handle it.
It does a number on me. Now I'm looking for better health services. Hey,
What
it
are
does
you
a
question,
number.
Chosen?
Seasonal.
Yeah, seasonal. Seasonal, yeah.
Seasonal, Joey.
I was about to say, Emo, what do you mean?
Seasonal.
Next question. Do you see yourself living in London long term? No.
Cut the
No.
cameras. Cut the
Wait,
cameras. Cut the
wait.
cameras.
By London, do they mean just London, the city, or the entire like country, as in the UK?
And it doesn't
It would-
matter.
it
Oh,
would-
I know.
I'm assuming it would encompass like the whole country. Like you're in the
yeah.
country.
Okay.
You see yourself living in the UK. Maybe let's
Okay,
assume
let's
that.
just maybe assume that was the
Yeah.
question. But
No,
yeah,
no. To answer your question, no. Okay.
No.
To answer your question,
No.
forever. Yeah?
And so that's just
No.
we won't get into why, because I think some of the questions coming up, or rather as you've watched the entire video, you will piece
Answer that.
together why we are saying no.
Hard no.
Yeah. The next question: what do you love and hate about living in London? Bali, oh.
Safety. I have never felt.
That's a good one.
That's so good.
Yeah. I can walk around London at midnight with my phone on my hands, and I wouldn't feel like I will never make it home alive, or someone who's on Babingunzi, you know. I will get home safe and sound. So I've never felt safer here than I ever like back home. Yeah. I don't feel safe back home.
And
So
what do you
safety-
hate about it?
Rightfully so.
It's expensive. It's extremely expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You, oh.
But he took my safety But I think outside of the safety one would be access to like traveling Europe.
Kind of, Chami,
To
you're about
revisit
to
the
ask,
question. Answer.
what do you love and hate about living in London? It was your turn.
Yeah, so Bali had already touched on the safety part, which is the biggest thing, obviously, especially if you're from South Africa. I think for me would be access. Yes, I said access. So access to traveling Europe, the easy access to traveling Europe, which I haven't done. Okay,
Yay.
but which I haven't done, but it's way easier than it would be if you were back home.
Yeah. And it's cheaper.
And cheaper. You can catch a train to Paris.
Yeah, for like
you understand?
£100. Like
100
that's
is
like
expensive even.
that's like if you're taking what's
Eurostar.
that? Eurostar, that's like on average £100, like 2,000 rands.
Yeah,
which
but
is
that's even a
Which
good
is
seat.
nothing.
That's also
It's good.
expensive.
It's probably like first class.
You know,
probably first
this
class.
is something I didn't know before I arrived here. Traveling around Europe, like going from London
It's so
to Paris
easy.
to where else? Oh,
But guys, I remember
so
this
easy.
one time.
it's so
I
cheap
remember
and
so
so
well
easy.
connected.
In SA, we are paying crazy amounts for flights. Like flights are expensive. Here, you pay way less to go to another country like France than in SA to go to another province. Like it's cheap here.
It's cheap. But I remember this one time I wanted to book a flight to Greece, and the flight on its own was £75. However, if you add the luggage and everything else, then it bumps it up all the way to like £125, which is still relatively cheap.
It still wouldn't be what you would pay if you were
cheap, of
home.
course.
Yeah.
So for me, when I say £100, I'm like, it's still cheap, bro, because
it's
that's
nothing.
like over 2,000
€100
rand.
Nothing. That's a meal in London, mate. Like that's a meal in London.
Bro,
mate.
I remember I'm going
That's
to
a
the
night
office.
out.
On average, a day I would spend about 60 to 70 pounds a day going to the office.
Exactly.
That's like traveling and lunch. So if you could use that money to pay for a flight to any of the countries within the Schengen area, that's
You're done,
amazing.
though.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
And
So
then-
that's that. And what I hate about it is probably the coldest of the place, and not cold in weather. I mean cold.
Oh,
I can. Okay.
Yeah. I get that.
You know, you back home you used to you know, just that interactiveness that you don't
I
get
get
here.
that.
People are very
Oh,
people are very apprehensive when you like,
Yes,
hi, how are you?
yes,
People are like,
yes.
you know, and I'm like, no, don't clench to your back, babe. Like you're good. You're good. So I just miss that back home, like Ubuntu, essentially.
Yes. Oh my
Ubuntu.
gosh, I hate that.
So yeah, those are my two.
I think what I love here in London is just how accessible everything is. And by accessible, I mean that like a lot of things that were just so far-fetched for me, or things that I saw on TV that seemed like they were there, now they literally happen almost every week, a train ride away, and they are affordable. Do you know what I mean? Now almost every other month there's some celebrity or artist that you wouldn't have thought who's about to perform, and the tickets are like 25 40 pounds.
Yeah,
and you can afford that. That's my favorite thing about it. Like there's so much happening, and like things that to you seemed like are there, it's just now I even get to be like, do I feel like going to a Chris Brown concert or not now? Do you understand what I mean? Like it's,
and they frequent.
and they happen so frequently. That's something I really love. One thing about London that I hate, Sana, there's so much.
Yo, girls, Teresa, with you. Next thing you're getting, go back to your country. Come back.
Exactly. But okay,
Go back to your country.
You're gonna try to gatekeep, right? So, okay, let me not get into it proper. What I hate about it,
One thing.
yeah,
One thing, just
one thing. I hate how self-sufficient you have to be here when it comes to beauty care or like self-maintenance. I'm currently considering learning how to braid my hair, because all the ladies who braid hair are expensive base. Like people here don't just braid willy-nilly. If you're braiding willy-nilly, it means that you have a family friend or an aunt who braids your hair, but otherwise braiding is an occasion here. It's when you're going on holiday. When you're going on holiday, that's when people do holiday braids or whatever. But braiding here is expensive, guys. Like it's so expensive, and that's something I really hate. That I've had to learn how to do a lot of things myself. I've had to learn how to shape my eyebrows and kind of tweeze them, get it tweezy, like myself. And I've never done that in my entire life, but here I had to, because they were charging ridiculous amounts. You will learn, my dear. You will learn how to do your stuff
within this cost of living.
Yo.
so many.
Yo, what did y'all study? How did y'all bridge that to be able to work in the UK?
Oh, I like that.
Love that.
I like that.
Yeah, who wants to take that one, guys?
I like that.
Should I? I don't know. Well, I studied industrial engineering, and I have a bachelor's in industrial engineering. I was in Cape Town, by the way. I was working in Cape Town as an industrial engineer, and then I got bored by that, and then I moved on. I moved on to.
I'm gonna refill.
Greener pastures.
Yes. No,
Are you
continue.
pausing?
No,
I'm afraid that we're not gonna continue.
I'm just literally my glass. Continue. Studying industrial psychology. Oh,
You know what? I thought
Industrial psychology. When I did industrial engineering, Pela.
I think industrial psychology.
Hey, yes, say it was. I'll continue.
I'm a sweet dumba.
Oh,
You did.
okay. What was I saying? Okay, so what was the question
You did
again?
industrial engineering.
What did you
and then
study
you
and
got
how-
bored.
And how did I get here?
And then you got bored. and then
Oh,
you-
okay. So yeah, I did industrial engineering. Worked for a couple of years, and it was just boring. Lacked impact. So I then moved on to a company. So the reason why I'm going to mention this company is because it will make a lot of sense in the story. So I then, where I was working as an industrial engineer in the manufacturing sector. I moved on to the online retailing industry, where I worked there as a supply chain engineer at Takealot. And while I was at Takealot, I've always dreamt of working for a company similar to that one.
I wanted to hear how you gonna.
If you know, you know, okay? I've always dreamed of working for a company
Take it on a
similar
grander scale.
on a global scale.
Yeah. On a much more grander
And
scale.
I then went into that company's website and applied for a role that was obviously similar, or a role where my skills and qualifications would fit. So I obviously got a lot of rejections. And
Were you actually trying to move to the UK at that point?
actually, no, I was just trying to get out of South Africa. I didn't care where I was gonna go. I really didn't care. So it just so happened that I found the one that was in the UK. And honestly, UK was the list of the countries I've ever wanted to move to. I think the Netherlands the Netherlands is where I've always wanted to go to. But obviously I never got a job there. So the UK came along and I grabbed it with both hands. And yeah, so I went through the whole route of, applying for the job, getting 6 interviews, writing tests, and all of that, and then until, getting the actual job. So that's how I moved to the UK, through the skilled worker visa. So there are a lot of visas in the UK, and the one that I came with here is the skilled worker visa, which was sponsored by the company that hired me. So that's how I got here. So I think
That's so impressive.
I keep nodding.
how
You're
is it
such a
impressive?
hard worker. I didn't know that, but that's so impressive. No,
happening?
I'm just impressed because
Yeah.
I'm just like, yo, impressive. No, like I just
Chubby, you've known them. Chubby, you've known them.
No, I just knew a brief one, but now
High
you're
level.
explaining it in
More detail.
more detail. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
really impressive.
Thank you,
Damn.
my babe. Thank you. So, in closing, I think what I would say is, for anyone who wants to move here, just apply, directly to the company that you wish to work for.
Yep.
I did not go through agencies. I applied directly to the company that I always wanted to work for, and it happened. By the
Nothing
grace
wrong
of
with
God.
agencies, but
Yeah, there's nothing wrong.
fish out scammers.
I just don't know anything about agencies, so I couldn't help anyone when it comes to that part of the process. But what I know best is applying through the company and just, that's it.
Yeah, your personal lived experience.
Yeah, that's just my experience.
So
Oh,
no, I wanted to remind myself the question. I'm like, Konjo, what was the question? What you studied and how you got your
new question. What did y'all study? How did y'all bridge that to be able to work in the UK?
Okay. Cool. So I studied for undergrad industrial psychology. Cut that part out.
I dropped my shoe. I was like,
Tikana pants. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So I studied industrial psychology for undergrad and then went on to do my honors in HR. And then after that at UJ.
shut up.
And then after that, I went on to join PwC for the undergraduate program.
Oh, what? So
I can't focus.
Those are nice. Yo, they're very nice.
Guys, they're meant to be edibles. Don't have a lot.
Oh, man, no, really?
You're joking.
Oh, friend, don't lie.
She's joking. She's
Right.
lying.
No, I'm being for real. They're meant to be edibles.
You're lying.
Why not? Where do you get the edibles, Rena?
They're not strong though. I've had so much. They're not strong.
Are they edibles for us?
Aspala pants. I have to start over.
No.
So 3, 2, 1. Click. So I studied industrial psychology for my undergrad at the University of Johannesburg and then went on to do my honors in human resources management. I then joined PwC, a Foundation for the Future graduate program. Guys, apply for that program. It's the best. But anyways, I joined PwC as a management consultant within front office transformation. Yes, it wasn't what I studied because the program allowed for you to rotate within the different business units and then you get to decide where you want to land. And I wanted to do front office transformation. And then from that, I actually had one of my managers, very close friend of mine now, that was moving here to do the MBA at Oxford. And she was like, Miles, let's go to London. I'm like, girl,
Okay.
like, what do you mean? She was like, just apply, man, let's go to London. I'm like, you know what, I'm actually quite sick of SA. Let me try this thing out. So I started applying, but I didn't only apply just to London. I applied to like the big cities that I really liked. So like your Atlanta, your New Yorks, etc. And then my company here, which is a management consulting firm, funny enough, a competitor of PwC, reached out to me and I was like, okay, hi, let's chat. Went through the entire interview process and that's how I got in. So that was my process. Also didn't go through an agency or anything, no, but it was literally just transferable skills that were taken from point A to B, and that's how we landed up here. Claudina?
Glow.
Guys. I got married and I came here on a spousal visa. So, you're like it's next thing, you put where you work now. One day you see something that they don't like.
No, you don't have to say the actual name. So that's why I said management consulting firm, a big four management consulting firm. Umbali mentioned that it was a
Takealot.
Yeah, similar to Takealot, exactly, like a
Takealot on a global scale.
B2B, B2C, e-commerce, retailer, quick delivery, you know. Put 20.
I'm sure they get it now. I'm sure they get it.
Bank report them idea. I can boss something that's controversial.
Yeah.
Do you know that your employee Claudine is doing this in Taba? But anyway, guys. So I studied BCom law, and I'm just chewing.
I want to see how this video is going to go.
It's gonna be good.
Are they really edibles?
They're lights, man. You know that loud.
They're loud.
What do I mean for edibles? I'm telling you. I'm edibles, bro. They're not that light to me. I'm like,
What's that?
I bought them at the mall.
So for me, I studied BCom law, and as you can imagine, it's not the easiest thing, sort of going from law in South Africa and then coming here. So I'm not able to just kind of go from SA and immediately just start working here. But if you are studying law, the easiest way to do that really, but no, actually you still can't, is if your company sort of moves you from SA to here. That is one way to do it. But when you get here, no matter what you do, there's still going to be assessments that you need to pass through. So what I'm in the process of doing, I'm basically studying again. I need to pass SQE1 and SQE2 assessments, and then go write a board exam. And then after that, only then can I practice as a solicitor in the UK. So right now, I'm not practicing as a solicitor, but I am working at an immigration firm, because hopefully that is what I will venture in once I qualify as a solicitor in the UK. Once I'm able to practice in the UK, I want to go into immigration law. So right now, I am currently working at an immigration law firm, but more so as an assistant to lawyers, just so that I can, one, be sure that this is what I actually want to do, because I'm sort of seeing the day-to-day in and out of their work. And so yeah, so you can just Google this. Like you can Google, if you're studying law, there is a way to come here. But although, as somebody who's working in immigration law, I will tell you that the UK is really starting to tighten up ways for people to get here. It's getting more and more harder. Unless you're a nurse. Nurses are in great need here. So you're studying nursing, it's very easy for you to get, and teaching. It's
anything in the healthcare sector, actually.
It's very easy. In the healthcare, anything in the healthcare, it's very easy to get here. Anything else, it's hard, because when companies hire you, they need to justify, when applying to sponsor, you need to justify why they are taking you as a South African over a British citizen. So it's getting more and more difficult.
Hence, you are then placed under the skilled worker visa.
So that is what I did, and that's how. But that is not what got me to the UK. What got me to the UK is
my husband.
I got married.
To see my husband, I'm happy. I see my husband, I'm happy.
I got married and I'm under his visa. So I'm on a spousal visa, which fortunately allows me to have a job, because some visas don't allow you to work. But yeah,
that was cute.
Next question. Okay, that I sort of answered. What is a reasonable salary to be able to move to the UK, sit up and live
good one.
in the UK?
That's a good question.
Good question.
Yeah, do companies pay? And then I can't see the rest of the question.
Good question.
A reasonable salary.
I feel very passionately about this. Very passionately, because I think a lot of us, especially if you're coming from SA or Africa, right? Because or diaspora, if I may.
That's a good English.
No. I feel very passionately about this, because we come here and we're like, obviously quite grateful for the opportunity, because we're kind of breaking boundaries, right? It's things that we never got to do, or family or great grandmothers never got to do, etc. And which you should, but you end up accepting the bare minimum because you're just like, oh, I'm so grateful, which you should be, obviously, but also understand that they need that skill. They need you as much as you need them, right? So be able to stand your ground, right? Negotiate, know what you're worth, right? And negotiate. Like, don't move.
Because one thing about being in the UK, guys, and this is also
expensive.
This is also addressing your question that somebody asked sometime that I managed to see. Companies here need people.
They need people.
Yeah.
And it's expensive.
It's expensive. But actually,
I can't stress that enough. So
actually,
don't
I'll
come
touch on that later. But for me, it's a bit difficult to answer. What is a reasonable amount?
Let me land.
I think.
Can I land?
Let her finish.
Let me land. So yes, what I wanted to say is, stand your ground in terms of negotiating and understanding, number one, how much you're going to need, for rent, for deposit,
where are you gonna
to
stay?
live, where do you want to stay, commuting, just day-to-day cost of living, related expenses, right? Because we normally only find out when once you've arrived and you started working that I'm actually lower we band compared to people that my counterparts, right? Because we don't have that foresight, right? Because we come from a different world.
Yeah.
So what I would say is always negotiate. I accepted my first my first offer. The first offer they gave me, I accepted it because I'm like, I'm trying to go, you know. Especially with the pressing issues that are currently taking place in South Africa. You may feel like, I just want to leave, I don't really want to leave, and you just end up accepting nomayini. Do your research, because you get here and you realize how bad the cost of living is, and it's almost like a regression financially. So yes, be grateful. Yes, you're leaving SA, but do your research, know your worth, stand your ground is all I'm going to say. And to answer the actual question now, how much would be like feasible in order to kind of like make it month to month, day to day, whatever. I would say,
I think to be fair, first,
well, it depends on the level you're coming in also.
No, also it also depends because remember, I just wanna put this point across.
Yeah.
It's important to know where exactly you're gonna be staying in the UK, because the further you are from London, the cheaper it is. Because wait,
rent.
Hold on. When it comes to rent,
but commuting.
But Bali, if you have nothing to do in London, there's people who stay in Milton Keynes who haven't been to London in over 6 months.
If you have nothing to do,
if you have no business in London,
South African,
which is really the case, because people always want to go into London.
As I said, there's people who are in Milton Keynes who haven't been there in 6 months.
Okay.
Who don't. Anyway,
rare cases, but
okay. But anyway, if you are a South African, let's just focus on the fact that you will be a South African moving to the UK.
Yeah.
Potentially. I would say it's important to know exactly where you're going to be staying. So if you're applying for a job, okay. So if you're applying for a job in the UK, it's important to know where exactly it is based, because that will determine the amount of rent that you will have to, the amount of money that will go towards your rent.
Just like half your salary.
Which is like half your salary. So the further you are from London, the less you will pay when it comes to rent. But it doesn't mean that it's going to be cheap, but it just means it's going to be less compared to what you would potentially.
It's going to look better.
It's going to look better. It's going to be more spacious. But it's going to be, less expensive compared to a flat that you would normally pay for in London. So I'll just give it back to Mbali.
Don't be too fixated on postcode, okay? Don't be too fixated on zones. I live in zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 1.
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Don't be fixated on that, because next thing you're going to end up living with 12, 15 other people in one house. Right?
Paying 10,000 rand.
But paying equivalent to 20,000 rand per month. So don't.
Guys, rent here is very expensive. Like, it's really expensive living in London. And that's why, for me, at a risk of oversharing, a risk, I am earning way more than I thought that I would earn at this point in my career.
Okay.
Right? Or Mamela,
okay.
I'm earning like way more, like double what I thought that I would make at this point in my career.
Okay.
But with the amount of money I make, I would not afford to be able to live where I live. I'll not be able to afford an apartment on my own. I'll not be able to afford a car or whatever. I would have to, with the money I make, I would have to, in London, move into a house share, and not a great one. A house share, and live in a very frugal, how do you pronounce it? Frugal manner. Whereas, with this amount of money, in Zambs, I would have a car. Actually, not even this amount of money. I would live life. Just half of my, people who are making half of my salary in SA, people making half of my salary, they have an apartment that they're living at, and it's a nice apartment. They have a car, they live not large but comfortably. So don't make the mistake of seeing a salary that they're offering you from here in the UK and you're like, yo, cause your bills are also coming up in pounds.
Context.
It's expensive.
Context. But I think it's only fair if we like maybe give a rough estimation of like the numbers. Per annum. I think starting off entry level, 60,000
if you're based in London.
If you're based in London, 60,000 pounds.
Yeah, I agree.
60,000 pounds per month.
I agree. 60,000
per month.
Per month. No, sorry. Per year. Per annum.
I was about to say you're a baller.
What job would you be doing?
60,000 per annum. Do not. Well, you can accept something less, but if it's less,
if you won't
if you won't be staying in London, land on like 55.
Yeah.
But guys, please negotiate for a relocation bonus. I cannot stress this enough. I had someone that was about to relocate here. They weren't given a bonus, nothing. And I was like, so how are you expected to, obviously you'll have your savings that you want to use, but that's not the company's business. Their business is to get you here,
because they want you here.
Exactly, and make you comfortable whilst you're still figuring yourself out. So they need to offer you a relocation bonus, whether that's termed a relocation bonus, sign-on bonus, whatever it is, a bonus of some sort. That's just going to help you figure things out for that first month after you joining the firm. So please really negotiate for that, and then minimum, let's say 55,000 pounds.
But I hear that, and it's a very fair thing. But the thing is, as well, is that they have to become from different levels. Wherefore, now who was living quite comfortably in SA, for you to move here, you would need that much in order to sort of still maintain your lifestyle in some way. For somebody else, they're coming from a place where their lifestyle was a bit.
No, but that comes back to my first point. We shouldn't have the mentality yokufika lana and be like, no, maini boss I am. No, you understand? Because we come from those lives. We all, I'm not gonna say we all, but some of us come from very quite disadvantaged backgrounds, right? And we would come in with that mentality of I come from a lesser lifestyle, so let me just take this and this. Don't, because when you get here, it's a different ball game. Right, rent is £1,000. If you want to live alone, it's like £1,000, 1,500, 1 bedroom. That does not consider where you come from, where you've been, nothing. That's the rent. That's it. Right. So try and be as objective as you can in how much you are expecting from a firm.
So with that £60,000 as more ideal salary per annum, if you want to be based in London, it means that you would be able to afford a 1-bedroom flat or studio apartment, by the way, in London. You will not have to share. And you're obviously going to afford maybe night outs now and again. But it doesn't mean you're going to be balling, by the way. With £60,000 per annum in London, doesn't mean you'll be balling. You'll just be able to afford
day-to-day
basic stuff. Yeah. So, that's what I would say.
Negotiate.
Maybe be able to save here and there, take a trip once a year, to Europe.
I hear you guys. That's fair. I'll accept that, because I think I need to also remember that you and I also operating from different perspectives.
Dual income.
I'm in a dual income. You guys sort of face the reality more than I do. Of your salary having to do everything. Alone.
Literally everything. You are responsible for every little thing in your household.
It's tough.
And I think one thing that Mbali and I are similar in is that we did not want to share our flats. We literally wanted to have our own space, build ourselves.
Very stern in that.
Yeah, so hence we know exactly what goes into maintaining a 1-bedroom flat and how much you would need per month in order for you to afford the lifestyle of maintaining a 1-bedroom flat, being able to have a lifestyle and be able to save some money on the side. So
Yeah.
60,000 rand
That sounds just
is
like-
okay. I'm not saying it's gonna give you the most amazing life.
£60,000 or-
60,000 pounds per annum. It will just you'll just afford just basic lifestyle. But if you want a ball, of course,
There are extra things.
you need more money than
75.
that.
Because I'm just like I hear
It's
it.
doable. It's doable. For example,
But you can.
if you are a
You
project
can.
manager.
You can.
You
or
can.
investment banking.
Investment banker.
You can come in
easily
at
get
75,
80,000 pounds, 200,000 pounds per year.
Yeah.
Then you'll be living a good life.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
studied finance or you are a project manager, look out for those things. That's if you want to move to the UK, of course.
Project management in tech, though.
Yeah.
Let's be specific. In tech.
And construction. There's money there.
Yeah, you guys are so impressive. Oh.
Moving on.
Next question. Is it nice being that side? Money wise, how is the life? Are you sending home enough or I think there is a nice that side and the money wise. I think we've answered
Yeah,
that. I'm gonna
double
answer
zero,
the
yeah.
question of you saying, are we sending enough home? Are you guys want me starting with that?
Yeah.
I am in a very fortunate position where my parents are fine. They don't need me to send money home. So anytime I send money home, it's just because I'm spoiling them with for a birthday or whatever. So I'm in the fortunate position. But also I can do that because I'm in a dual income household. So to me, it's quite easy to send X amount of money back home, but I don't need to. So there's no am I sending enough back home. So yeah, for me, why not? Oh, yes,
Yo, you guys are annoying. Why are you my business? You're my business. It's a very personal question. But I also understand.
If you guys are
no, but
talking
no.
about answering,
No,
you
no,
don't
no,
have to answer.
no. I understand. Well, I can assume that I understand where the person is coming from, right? Because the main motivator of you coming here would be to financially
liberate
liberate
and
yourself,
your family.
and your family, exactly. So that's why the question may have been asked. So, to answer your question, to answer your question, yes, yes, right. I think it's a good balance. It is definitely not what I expected it to be. I can say that, but it is a good balance, and it is more than I would have been able to do if I was back home, right? And this also considers the power of the currency, right? Not that I'm making but it's because of the power of the currency itself, especially with the rand declining, right? Now, Kona, you monitor.
Always monitor.
Yeah, you always monitor. Let's see how are things performing.
As soon as that rent drops, you're like,
Exactly. So it's by virtue of that fact, which the pound is quite a strong currency, you'd be able to do a lot more back.
what is £10 for you is Mamela, it's quite
£10 for
something.
us is
Exactly.
You're right.
over
Exactly.
over 100 rand, 200 rands actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
Over 200 rands if you convert.
So I call it the power of the pound.
The pound
It's
is
probably
currently
24
at
now.
24 rands right now.
So
10 times 24.
10 times 24, that's like 240.
238.
I was
That's a
close,
lot.
240.
Yeah.
And that's
a
actually
lot.
so right, because if somebody asking for £10 now back at home, it's just £10 for
It's
me.
just 10
It's just
pounds.
£10.
And for them, it's 238 rand. That's
lot.
you're right. You're
So
right.
it's essentially the power of the pound, as I would like to call it.
Yeah.
But not necessarily that you're earning like ridiculous amounts.
No.
No. But it's the power of the currency. And that's why I've always said with him, I think your best bet would be to live in SA that has a decent cost of living, but earn in a currency.
Hey, Chaza!
I hear when I live.
But then you're about to be controversial because last time I tweeted, we were talking about, I'm not joking.
What happened?
Last time on Twitter, people were talking about people living abroad and whatever. And I tweeted, I was like, I wish SA people knew how good they have it. If you don't have to move to the UK, don't do it. You trust me, you have a better life in SA with what you're earning than double your salary in the UK.
Jeez.
And I was almost getting dragged on Twitter. You know, people I'm not even joking. People being controversial about it. They were like, Haibo, why don't you move back then? If it's a bad thing. Haibo, you guys are gatekeeping.
I know.
So it was controversial for me to say that as a person living in the UK, I'm telling you guys in SA, if you can, stay there.
Guys, if you can, the cost of living in SA is so manageable, and you only get to understand that and experience it when you leave the country, right? Which is something that, let me not even, because it's going to get confused. I was about to say, which is something that we don't do a lot of as South Africans. We don't travel a lot as South Africans. But anyways, that's only something that you get to experience when you start traveling and you understand Haibo. We actually have it. We actually have it okay in SA. So the sweet spot for me would be to live in SA that has a manageable cost of living, but earn in a different currency.
Yes.
So there's remote working now is booming, right, because of COVID. So if you can get a job that earns, that allows you to earn in dollars, the pound, do that, right? Google what's the highest currency right now. I think Kuwait.
What?
Kuwait in Middle East.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like one Kuwait is like 50 something rands.
Yeah.
Kuwait. Yeah, there you go. Kuwaiti or something. So it's the highest currency right now. So if you can get a job there remote, do that. There's so many ways. There's so many ways to work around the system, guys. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You don't have to physically be in any country to make that amount of money.
If that,
so many ways.
Given that would be your only reason why you would move out of South Africa.
Can I tell you guys as well? Right. A lot of European companies are setting up their call centers in South Africa. The South African accent is actually one of the most clearest accents in the world.
You lie.
I'm not even joking. And
I always say that, I love your accent. I'm like, dear.
I didn't even know that until I didn't know that until one of our clients was like, yeah, he's setting up his call center in South Africa because his company deals with a lot of international clients and other countries, and their accents are hard. When they speak English, it's still
they're heavy.
They're heavy. Some can't speak one of the easiest. So there is a way to get jobs that pay you in yoga, other currencies besides the South African rand. So, but should we move into this question, guys?
Yeah. Damn, it's becoming long.
I love that. No, you feel chop and nini.
Yeah.
Chop. It's valuable information.
How did y'all meet as the South Africans? Such a happy group of people.
I love that.
I met her first through my husband. Ufra, and he's so cute. Fran, I forgot what story he told me how he met her. But then he called me later that night. He was like, "Oh, babe, since you're coming to the UK sometime, I met such a nice girl that you should be friends with." He was like, "I'm a nice girl that I want to introduce you to when you come here, so you can be friends." And then when I arrived, he invited you guys her for dinner at our house, and I was like,
guys, literally when the first day I went to France, I already saw the pictures of the wedding. Everything. He showed me everything. Let me, we were at a birthday party and we were like late. I was like a little bit tipsy. Scattered. France like, yeah, we are swiping. I'm like, she's so pretty. She's coming and I'm like, I can't wait to meet her.
He texted me, he's like, Mamela, I have a new friend for you, baby. Don't care my love. And then I met Mbali P. I met Mbali M through Mbali P.
Yeah. So how Mbali and I met? Do you want to tell the story?
TikTok.
Give me the floor.
Just go for it.
So Mbali slid into my DMs.
I love it.
Mbali slid into my DMs on TikTok at Mbals_. Yeah, she just messaged me be like, hey, you know, I see that you around the area, you know, you'd like to go out for lunch or dinner or drinks, whatever. And I was like, oh babe, like 100%, because I have a lot of guy friends here. I hadn't really found like a girlfriend group. I'm so sorry. Why are you smelling?
I'm just listening. Because
oh, why I smell like that? You better cut that part out. But anyways, yes. So I really wanted like a girlfriend group because I'm such a girl's girl. So when Bali DM me, I was like, oh yes, plus we share the same name. Like obviously, it's a match made in heaven. So yeah, Mbali and I then went out for shisha and drinks, and we hit
Humble bubble.
Humble bubble. And we hit it off, and that's how we've been inseparable since. But anyways, we've literally been inseparable since. And then we were having a night out. Where were we going? Oh, somewhere in Soho. Fra and Glow were there, and I was like, Miles, come along. A couple of my friends having a night out in Soho. Let's go hang out. And then they met and they hit it on. And I'm like, no. I'm playing. But they get along so well, and I love. Don't you know? I'm so sorry. I'm playing. But no. I love it because there's nothing much. It makes it easier. So that's how we all met.
Next question.
Makes sense.
Next question.
Am I the one getting grams?
Next question. Is London how you expected it to be? What were those expectations?
I feel like I'm talking all about.
I don't know if I had expectations. I mean, to be honest, before I moved, prior to moving to the UK, I did follow a lot of UK content creators. So before I got here, I had an idea of how London is. So when I got there, it was everything that I thought it was.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I'm always quite wary answering this question because then people are like, did you do your research then? Because if you're like, it wasn't what I expected, it's like, did you do your research? Which I did. But obviously I think I had way higher expectations because I was obsessed with a show called Made in Chelsea. I don't know if anyone is like that. Imagine Chelsea.
Imagine Chelsea. Okay.
Imagine Chelsea.
Now that you know Chelsea.
Imagine Chelsea. A very affluent area here. Which is not the whole of London, isn't it? It's literally like a very small, very small position. So when I came here, it definitely wasn't what I expected. I didn't expect for the buildings to kind of
be old,
archaic.
Okay.
Because I'm a city girl, you know, born and raised in Joburg, skyscraper type of girl. Born and raised.
I thought you were talking Zeren.
Well, my family therefore, but I was born and raised in Joburg.
I thought
No, born and raised. East Rand, K1. Azo. But yes, skyscrapers, almost like New York City type of vibes. And it was the complete opposite. So outside of that disappointment, it was kind of what I expected. It was. Outside of that, it was. Chloe?
For me, honestly, I don't know, guys. I didn't think I would move overseas as quickly as I did.
When had you expected?
I didn't think it was possible for me early on enough, mainly because I'm studying law. So in my mind, I was just like, I'm gonna study law, I'm gonna get employed in some company in SA, and only through them will I sort of move to a different country.
Fair.
And I didn't have London in mind, you know. And I was just like, any country, no, my I just like, no, my you know. And then I met Fran, and we were in a long distance relationship. So he sort of showed me a lot of London throughout our years of dating. Excuse me. So I feel like when I got here, it was exactly what I expected, because our long distance relationship, we spoke to each other very much, like because we were very intentional about doing life together. So he would be like, "Oh, let's go to the shops." Like we spent all the time. So everything that when I got here, I saw it was everything
it matched.
To be. How's the dating scene in London, ladies?
Dating scene in London is quite tricky, right? And I'm speaking from a past perspective because
I
got a man now, whatever.
Okay,
Okay, told me.
But before then, on the real, it was a bit of a shocker. It was a bit of a cultural shock, because we used to, in SA, like black men just being, so obsessive about black women. Like, oh, we love black women. Like, oh,
here they like white women.
And here it's like the opposite, right? And if not white, you're going to decide what to tell Manjelena and go say, "Ninga screenshots, guys. Ninga." We need to caveat. Ninga screenshots, guys. This, colorism. But anyways, if you're able to get that, you did. But if you weren't, this was one. But anyways, so dating is like very, very tricky. I personally, when I got here, and I'm putting my business, James City Candy Go fan. No, I'm like, I'm opening up.
When you got here, what happened, my friend?
I dated someone when I got here that I met online on Bumble, and him and I still besties till this day. Like, we're good friends. Amazing person. But through that process, like, I understood, Witty, you're not necessarily the standard, okay? You're not the standard. Versus in SA, where you walk in anywhere and you're like,
you're the bitch.
You're that okay. And that's okay. That's fine, right? Because it's different cultures, different worlds. It's okay.
Is he white?
No. How white?
What are you telling me?
Black. Black. So depending on what you like, racially, even gender-wise, guys, let's be, LGBTQ. We're allies. Depending on what you like, right? Race-wise, what else? Oh, because I'm straight, I can't mention anything else. It's very flexible, is what I'll tell you. Very flexible, but it's not what we expected as black women coming from South Africa. I think you can at least
the black guys here are dating white girls, child.
I think you can at least agree with that.
They're dating white women.
Exactly. And also, abantu abashayeli lana, guys.
Do you know what though? Can I tell you what I have to say about that?
Yeah.
So I just here, one of the things I love about this place is men here don't harass you. Guys. Whenever I go out, I don't get any people trying to catcall, trying to say
everyone wants their own
business. You go for worldwide. I don't nix like that. And I thought that people are just genuinely respectful and whatever.
You'll catch a case though.
I mean, one day I went out without my rings because I forgot them. And I realized that I got hit on a few times. Not in a harassment-y way, but I got hit on. And it made me realize that in the UK, people respect wedding bands. They respect marriages a lot. I never have issues when I'm wearing my wedding band. But the very few times that I've forgotten to put on my wedding rings and I've gone to work, I do get hit on. Which is very different from South Africa. SA men don't give a hoot.
If anything, you're more attractive.
If anything, once you say, can I talk to you? And you're like, Lena, oh, they don't give a damn. Like, yo, babe. If anything, you're more attractive because it means that he can fool around with you and you won't wild out because you just have as much to lose and you won't bother him. So you, as a married woman, are actually more in demand. Here, babes, no one's gonna come to you. I've been here 8 months and I don't get shallow when I have my ring on.
I'm not gonna lie. So 2 things. There's a preference, and we are not necessarily the preference, right? In terms of skin color, shade, weight, and all of those things. I mean, we are in a Western.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We all know Tiwana about Western beauty standards, and we don't necessarily fit that, and that's okay. That's okay. Sinashwele khaya nje ukuthi umuntu uyathandwa nje ekhona ngomzimba uyabo, which is not necessarily the case everywhere else in the world, and that's fine. That's okay. There's that, and then number 2, akshelwa, which is fine because it's like people respect people. Well, whether male or female, I feel like everyone here just minds their own business. And you will catch a sexual harassment case if you look at anyone funny. You stay too long.
Women can report
you stay too long. Say it, see it, sort it.
But if you feel you are being harassed, in the train, there's a voice. If you feel you're being harassed, text this number. It's so, guys, here they don't play around.
See it.
That's why
sort
you think
it.
here. When they hit on you, they show you, they think twice.
Exactly.
The police here don't play around.
Exactly.
If
So that's
I feel you're harassing me.
Exactly. So that's why online dating is such a big thing. So open yourself up, right? A bit more. Be a little bit more flexible. Because you're going to have to get on those apps. Okay? You're going to have to get on those apps. You're going to have to get on those apps.
Next question. Hey, oh, it's not about age you get married. It's about London. Oh. Satan Lore, but not the time, my dear Choza. Ask me another question. What's something you miss about home that you didn't think you would? Yo, I miss so much.
I mean, besides the obvious food.
I miss salt.
I think it's obvious that when you move to another country, you're obviously gonna miss. You're obviously gonna miss your traditional food. But friend, they do have Sixgan here. You can go to a South African plaza shop.
But they're expensive.
But it's accessible. You can get it.
I will see you.
Friend, where do you think you're gonna get back?
One thing I didn't think I'd miss about SA is seeing black people.
True. Yeah. Actually, that's a good point.
Just the vibe.
I didn't think I would miss abanyama, but here, I don't know, maybe we're in the wrong part of London, guys. But but even the places we go to, I'm not sure what it is, but here there are only certain events and places you go to where you will see a lot of black people.
But I think yes, there's places where there's predominantly black people, right? Like your Brixtons, Peckhams, etc. But it's not South Africans.
Yeah.
Like, it's a different vibe. I'm not trying to segregate anything, but it's just a different vibes.
For me, I just miss black people, dude. Only because
you can
black people
anywhere here.
Black people don't frequent Central, dude. Like every all the events, concerts or whatever that happens around Central, the black people from here, but also I'm just like, is it a case of I'm in the Camps Bay or the white areas of London and complaining about not seeing black people when there are.
You are.
Do you understand what I mean? I think I'm just in a.
You are.
I'm in white spaces now.
Yeah, go to you've been to Brixton.
No.
Oh yeah, Bona. Oh.
I'm in white spaces now.
Brixton. All black.
What Beyonce? What does that have to do with
London, where
anything?
else in the world would you three live? Oh, I love that. I love that.
Okay.
What's the question?
If not London, where else in the world would you live?
Oh, can I answer that? Because I'm not trying to get back to South Africa.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyone who knows me knows that I'm not trying to get back to South Africa.
Okay, let's not even put an
You want to
essay.
go back to essay?
I mean, not yet. Not yet.
Let's not even put an essay. It's fine.
If it wasn't the UK, where else I would live? I have 3 countries that I would most likely move to. 1, I think it's obvious. I mentioned it earlier
Netherlands.
on. Netherlands. Yeah. If not, I would love to check out Canada, actually. Canada.
Where in Canada though? Because you have to be
Toronto, Montego,
Drake.
Okay.
I love them.
And I have a third one. So it's Netherlands, Canada. I would love to move to New York, as expensive as it is. I have to experience New York at least for a year in my life. Yeah.
I'm with you.
You, babe.
Oh, guys, Chicago. And people always warn me about Chicago. They're like, do you know how rough Chicago is? I'm like,
really?
do you know? Yeah, because like a lot of the influencers that I follow are from there, and it's like, oh, it just looks so beautiful. It looks very beautiful, and the firms that I would be looking to work for are in Chicago. So definitely Chicago. If not, then Atlanta.
Ooh,
It's still the same country. We're still in America,
We're still in America.
which I'm not particularly a fan
United
of, and I've been there, and I'm not a fan of. But still, would love to do America for 6 months to a year working there. So either Atlanta, Chicago. Maybe let's take it out of the US. Switzerland.
Oh, Switzerland. Yes, love that. Love that country.
Yeah. So America or Switzerland for me.
I want to live in Dubai.
Oh, girl, yes.
I wanna shake my ass in Dubai.
Dubai, you get your salary as it is. You don't tax your salary.
But it's expensive though.
It is.
It's expensive. You will spend your money. Somehow you will pay the tax.
So number one, because of that,
I don't know why. I'm maybe a frugal
number
bitch.
Number two,
Complaining.
It's beautiful.
the weather. I would love to live in a place with summer the
Oh,
whole
really?
year. It's warm the whole year in Dubai.
So you
Dubai
wouldn't
is also
mind?
very extreme. Very extreme.
I
Yo,
don't mind. Oh,
Are you sure?
But
I mean,
I
of
would
course
love
you
to
are.
live in Dubai,
Yeah.
honestly. I think that's a place that, guys, if our salaries would be taxed with
Yeah.
my husband, it would be nice. Yeah, it would be nice. So I would love to live in Dubai. But other than that, I honestly haven't given much thought, only because I didn't in the first place think that I would be even in the London.
Yeah, you said that.
Yo, guys, my husband's calling.
I'm going to see my husband.
Hi, baby.
I'm happy. Oh my God.
Let's continue. The
Guys.
next question.
I'm happy.
How different is the food?
Very bland compared to.
Yes.
Yo, Sana. Yo, Sana.
Very
Very bland. Bland. That's the answer.
Yeah.
Sweet and
So,
short.
yeah, but even I really think that the government does it on purpose because we have free, good healthcare here. A lot of things that you buy in the stores are sort of reduced from what the original flavor would be. There's also sugar-free
Oh,
stuff.
it's very purposeful. You're right.
Yeah, it's purposeful.
Very, very intentional.
And then the salt isn't as concentrated as it would be here because they're trying to keep people healthy as much as possible. So I get my salt from South Africa, my spices, I give my balishim. Everything comes from SA for me.
It's very intentional.
Yeah.
Hello guys, Imnandi Land. I wish this could happen
every week or monthly. Hey Claudina, do you enjoy your job in London or would you rather be doing something else? Subscribe to my channel.
Content creation.
I want to do content. Guys, subscribe to my channel and get me money. I will quit that job with the quickness.
We need to get to ads.
Told
To the watch hours.
Yes,
To the
I'm
watch
so
hours now.
close.
Really?
to
Are you
that.
close?
Let me show
Yeah.
you. Let me show
Yeah.
you. Oh,
So, please watch.
I want
all
to be a
the
full-time
ads.
content creator, guys.
Yeah, and it's possible, Chomi. Come on, like it's possible.
Let me show you.
I'm gonna watch hours.
Your
Oh,
favorite
you want
office
next
videos.
week? Next week.
Next week.
You
You see, guys.
guys, just watch the ads, please.
When they do
Once
it,
I start making
just
watch
money
the
from
ads.
social media,
Watch the ads.
money that surpasses what I'm making from my Hey, God, I'm gonna
And Glow enjoys, like, Glow is so invested. Well, YouTube also, especially, because I think we all have like different platforms that we quite like enjoy.
You're on TikTok.
I love TikTok. I love TikTok. Glow,
Really
I respect Glow when it comes to YouTube. So guys, like, honestly, like,
but you know what,
subscribe.
what I'm in my head about, right?
What?
As long as I want to go full time with YouTube or whatever, I stand in my career path. I'm gonna make a lot of money. Like, I stand a chance to make a lot of money. Only because in my firm, I'm seeing what the senior lawyers are making, and I'm like, oh, and I'm like, well, content creation, give me this every month.
So how I look at it is effort required in order to make that money. The effort required in order for you to make the money that you know you're gonna make in law versus the effort required that you're gonna make with content creation. Not saying that content creators don't work; they bust their asses, right? But compared to the duration, how long would you need to work in the level that you need to work?
Lean towards creation is that even if content creation requires a lot more effort, the effort is not like law. It doesn't mean me sitting in front of a desk.
That's what I'm saying.
The effort just means me being more creative instead.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Subscribe to my channel.
The effort required, and it's something you already enjoy. You literally enjoy it, and you're so good at it. So why not?
So you think I'm good? Are you actually enjoying life in the UK? And I think that's a good question to wrap
Close it up there.
I'll start. It definitely, I think when I encourage people to not immediately jump to switching countries, I'm seen as gatekeeping, right? And here's my thing: if you can't stay in South Africa and you're currently, if you can't stay, but if you are single in a space to grow your career, I do recommend moving to the UK for a year or two to sort of get that international experience. It's a good idea. Come, and it will benefit you when you move back. But I'm going to talk about my own experience right now, and which is to say that as much as I enjoy the UK, guys, I think I've told you guys what I love about this place. There's no place like home. I really miss South Africa very much. I miss the food. I miss the culture, and by the culture I mean the people. At work, when I go to work, I go to grind proper. There's no jokester that's busy making jokes the whole day in the office. Do you understand? Like the small things that really really end up getting to me. Like in the office, people are there to grind. People here are very serious about work. And they're very serious about keeping their work life and their personal life separate. So when somebody's at the office, they are just in some serious mood and you don't really know who they are. So work is really difficult. Unlike in SA, when there's Utabo, we know Tabo is doing the most, and over the weekend he comes back with stories. Do you know what I mean? It's the small things. So, but you understand, Toby? So, like I miss the alcohol as well. Like here, I think they limit how delicious the strength and how amazing the alcohol
they dilute
is.
Alcohol, yeah.
But most of all, I miss the comforts of South Africa. And this is what I want to tell people. That was a controversial last time I mentioned it on a social media platform. You won't be as comfortable as you were in South Africa here.
You're the minority, so
the amount of money that Fry and I paying for rent would be enough to afford a huge house in SA. A very nice house in Camps Bay, babe. Do you understand? And here, we're not living in a huge house, in a Camps Bay house. It's a nice place, sure, which I'm very grateful for, but it's not what that money could afford us in South Africa. In fact, in SA, in SA, I would have a car of my own.
Yeah.
Number 3, I would have a helper. I would have a helper who maybe comes 4 times. We would be much more comfortable in South Africa than we are here. The reason why, number 1, we can't have a helper here is because helpers here, they are expensive, but they also don't clean very well.
Yeah.
You once got one and it would lift the glass white glass. Trust me, I'm not even joking. Like they are
You're lying.
We once got one for time. Like, let's try it out. She came, I lifted the glass, I wiped and we leave it there. Helpers here don't clean. So, and then number 2, public transport. The public transport system here is very efficient. So most times it makes more sense to use the train and the buses than it is to take an Uber or private car, because number 1, there's traffic on the road, so you're going to arrive way later if you're using an Uber or your car. Number 2, if you're using your own car, you're going to pay loads of money for parking, or you're going to struggle to find parking wherever you're going. So the city is built for public transport. That's what everybody uses. Even the CEOs of the largest companies, CEOs, whatever, they do not live in the train there because it's the most reliable and efficient. But as much as it's reliable and efficient, I miss being in a car and being able to be on my own and get to a place. I miss how close everything is as well. Here, whenever you go out, it better be fucking worth it. Like, I better enjoy your company because it's a mission to travel, guys. Even I've actually done a mission to go, there's a mission to come back. Because you are tipsy, we're at a restaurant. Now you need to navigate the public transport system. Your train, you don't know why, but it's been cancelled, it's not operating tonight. You need to find alternative ways to get, like, you will sober up. You will sober up. I definitely don't like that about the UK, and I miss that about South Africa, and I miss how much more I could do with my money in South Africa. In the SA, I was able to earn way less, but yet still have access to my basic needs. I was able to get my hair done frequently, to get my nails done, to get my lashes done, facials, without me blowing my bank. Here, doing all of that on a monthly basis blows my bank. So that's what I'm saying. If you are here, to come to the UK, I would advise a South African, come to the UK only if you have a goal of just improving or adding on to international experience for you to go back.
Not running away,
but for you to go back. And I know people are saying, okay, why don't you go back then if the UK isn't so great? My life is not your life. You don't know. I'm not even trying to tell you. I'm not even trying to be funny.
In a nasty way,
I'm not even saying it in a nasty way. You don't know what is keeping me here. Just take what I say, use it or not. This kind of kandisa, guys. Fuck. My man, with all that I'm saying, if it was possible for me and my family for us to just be like, I don't like it, let's move back. If it was that easy, with what I'm saying, we would. But there's a reason why we cannot just jump from London and be like, let's go back to SA. Which are reasons that I won't divulge on, because it means me oversharing my personal life details. But just think twice about it. The grass is not always greener on the other side.
The grass is greener when you water it.
Period. I'm done now. Give it, guys.
Then now you want to be like, carry on, run. When you've come through all the points,
your own experience.
Like literally, you've cut. What is the question?
Question, it was my fault. Guys can tips you.
But that was good. You mentioned everything.
Are you actually enjoying life in the UK?
Oh, okay, cool. I mean, it's mid. Okay. It's okay. I know that I definitely could have a richer life in SA.
Breaks my heart.
So from when I'm a pause, I definitely know I could have a much more richer life in SA, and not richer just monetarily wise. No, like I mean in all ways. And I think people just need to move away from the concept of SA is turning into a Zimbabwe, load shedding, and just other political and economic. Are you done? Yo, Sana. I think people need to move away from really honing into the economic and political issues that we have in SA, because they exist everywhere. Trust me, political issues in the UK are as bad as anywhere else, right? So is America and every other part of the world. No country is perfect. And only through you getting out there and putting yourself out there will you realize that, as I mentioned, the grass is only greener where you water it. See where your advantage lies. See where you can make the most, monetarily wise and experience wise, right? Because we make a lot of money here, but as we've mentioned before, it goes back into the economy.
Yes, it goes back to the economy. Trust me. Yes. Yes.
You done? It goes right back into the economy, right? So that's why I'm like, it's mid because I've experienced wholesome, and wholesome is soda. I haven't traveled as much as I'd like to. Spent some time in America, and I still felt the same way. I wanted to go back home quick in a hurry, and I was in Las Vegas, right? I was in Las Vegas, but I still was like, when are we going home? When are we going home? And I should have known right then that nothing really would satisfy my spirit and heart the way that South Africa does. And I think
no place like
there's just being here has confirmed it. I want to raise my family in South Africa. I want to retire in South Africa. I want to do everything in South Africa. It's just now building, a good plan so that when I land in SA, everything is sorted. And also, guys, the world is your oyster. Don't be too fixated on any particular place, right? As Glo mentioned, you can come and leave, right?
Yeah, and it can lead to benefits.
Guys, man, be flexible, man. Be flexible. You can literally live anywhere in the world. And you can get to go in and out as you please. So, to answer your question, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's all right.
To be honest, hi everybody. I think my girls have said all the important points. They've mentioned all the important points. I'm just gonna wrap it up. So, am I enjoying life in the UK? Yes, I have. Since I've moved here, and I've been here for 1 year, 10 months, right? So, I've had a great time. I've had more ups than downs. But as Mbali said, there's no place like home. Don't be too fixated on a particular country. As I said earlier on as well, that if I were to move out of here, before I go back to South Africa to settle, which is what I eventually want to do, I would like to experience and explore other countries as well. Stay there for a couple of years before going back to South Africa. So there's no place like home. If you do move out of South Africa, just explore. Allow yourself to explore, fully immerse yourself to the journey, and then go back home if you want. That's what I want to do.
If you're young, you have no kids, wife,
just do it.
Do it.
So that's my take on it. Yes, to answer the question, yes, I've been happy. It's been good, but I am. This is not it's not the end. It's not the end. It's just only the beginning before I go back home. So that's the plan for me.
Oh, I'll say cute. I'm a say cute. I'm a baby. So,
there you go.
Anyway, guys, I feel like we've answered a lot of your questions, and any question that we didn't specific,
There you go.
Any question?
Guys.
Any question that we didn't read out as it was and answer it was answered in one question or the other. Let's have a trendies. Okay.
Please.
But this is what our personal experiences of London have been like, and maybe other people that you will watch will have had different experiences, and their outlook on London and the experience here, what they want to do here, how long will be different.
It's not the end all and be all. it's very subjective.
Yeah.
To our own personal experience.
Because one thing, you can experience London differently based on where you live, hey?
Yeah.
And on why here, like.
And why you're here. Your why.
On why you're here. Your why will. But we want to come back. Eventually we're hoping to come back. But anyway, guys.
Go now.
Do you know I even miss Boma when you know there's a nearby us and you can go to some chasanyama nearby.
Oh, like the simplest of pleasures. The simplest of pleasures.
Guys. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to follow Umbali P on TikTok. Because she's not on Instagram, but on TikTok she's doing amazing things there.
Mbals_P.
Mbals_P.
Yeah.
What an Insta is it?
Wait?
The Mbals.
Mbals. MBALS_P.
I do not use my real surname on Instagram, but my username, what is it? My handle is Mbali __ Langa.
Doesn't follow you on TikTok only to the
Nothing.
Instagram.
Just Instagram. I mean, if you must, it's Mbali. No, it's Mbals with a Z _V. But I nothing much.
You're more active on Instagram.
I'm more active on Instagram.
Yeah,
so it's Mbali __ Langa.
But if you like wigs and lifestyle content,
She's your girl. Mbali
amazing.
_P.
On
Mbals _P on TikTok.
to do those on TikTok. Anyway, bye guys. Mwah. It's a noise to me. That's why how to. But it's a noise.
Oh.